Call to order the Gurnee Village Board meeting, June 12, 2023. Roll call, please.
Woodside.
Here.
Ross. Garner.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present.
Balmus.
Present.
Thorstensen.
Here.
6 present.
All present. All stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion by trustee Balmus, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmus.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
6.
Pat?
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the May 22nd, 2023 meeting. Item number 2, approval of resolution 2023-04, authorizing adoption of the 2022 Lake County All Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan. Item number 3, approval of resolution 2023-05, approving a contract with AEP Energy for the provision of electricity for streetlights. Item number 4, approval of the Engineering Division's recommendation to award the Gurnee American Legion Storm Culvert Replacement Project, alternate number 2, to the low bidder, Excavating, Inc., at a cost of $111,100.00. Item number 5, approval of payroll for period ending May 19, 2023, in the amount of $1,001,965.57. Item number 6, approval of payroll for the period ending June 2nd, 2023, in the amount of $1,066,156.54. Item number 7, approval of bills for the period ending June 12, 2023, in the amount of $5,826,274.85.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee O'Brien, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Woodside. Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmus.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
6 aye.
On to petitions and communications. Approval of a proclamation designating Monday, June 19th, 2023 as Juneteenth Day. Juneteenth is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States, dating back to 1865. It was June 19th that the Union soldiers, led by Major General Gordon Granger, landed in Galveston, Texas, with news that the war had ended and that the enslaved were now free. While President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation had officially outlawed slavery in Texas and other states almost 2.5 years earlier, Texas was the most remote of the slave states and had a low presence of Union troops to communicate slavery had been outlawed. Therefore, enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation had been slow and inconsistent before Granger's announcement. Today, Juneteenth celebrates African American freedom and achievement while encouraging continuous self-development and respect for all cultures. It is time for reflection and rejoicing, assessment, self-improvement, and for planning for the future. Now, therefore, I, Thomas B. Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim June 19 as June 19th Day in the Village of Gurnee and encourage residents to celebrate freedom and honor, emancipation, and the end of slavery, and remember that all individuals are created equal. I further urge all residents to reflect on our collective history and the actions we take going forward to build a more fair and equitable society. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee O'Brien, second by trustee Ross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pat, no reports. No old business.
No.
On to new business. Item number 1, approval of ordinance 2023,
35.
authorizing execution of a professional services agreement with Gawalt Hamilton Associates, Inc. for engineering services, Phase 3 of Dilly's Road pedestrian path from the ComEd right-of-way to Stern School Road. Pat?
Sure. So this project's been before the village board a couple different times. You remember this is to install a pedestrian path on the east side of Dilly's from ComEd up to Stern School as an alternate route to get across 94 and use a new pathway up on Stern School. The village has partnered with the county on this. The arrangement is that the village will cover the upfront costs and then be reimbursed by the county. Our estimated cost of the project, the village's share is $51,000. The county's estimated cost is $684,000. So phase 1 is complete. That was to see if it would fit in there. It does. Phase 2 is almost complete, so that's engineering plans, soil testing, construction estimates. Gaywald's handled both of those. The next phase is going to be actual construction. The project hasn't been put on the street yet, but will be shortly. But as we do with other projects, we have a consultant provide construction oversight services. So since Gaywald's been involved from the beginning, and the cost will be reimbursed by the county, staff reached out to them to get a proposal for construction oversight throughout the duration of the project. They came in at a not to exceed of $58,645 based on the anticipated hours they'll have involved. Like other consulting and contractual agreements for such services, they only bill the hours that they actually work. And again, this will be reimbursed by the county. So staff is recommending to continue forward with Gaywalt based on their previous involvement in the project.
Any questions or comments? Trustee Thorstensen?
Was this on our walkability plan?
It is.
That's great. So was it moved up because of the accessibility to the funds with the county project?
Nick's shaking his head, yes.
I'm still happy. If I bicycle around that area and I can't do dailies because it's too dangerous, so I get to tour all the little neighborhoods around it. But I'm really looking forward to this great project.
Yeah, no, this will fill in a decent-sized gap in our pedestrian path system in town for sure.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes,
Six aye.
Motion carries. Item number 2, approval of ordinance 2023,
36.
authorizing the amendment to the professional services agreement to provide consulting services related to the ground emergency medical transportation program between the Village of Gurnee and Andres Medical Building LLC. Pat?
Sure. So I had a memo from Chief Kavanaugh on this. This is a program that we've participated in since 2019. Allows us to recoup some funding that isn't covered by the insurance companies for Medicaid patients. We worked through the state. When we approved this originally in 2019, we had partnered with R1 RCM Inc., who also partnered with Public Consulting Group, PCG. Since that time, R1 is no longer providing these services in Illinois, and PCG has taken over, so that's been a partner that we're familiar with. Due to that change, we need to amend our agreement with Andres, who does the medical billing, to reflect that PCG is taking over. There was also 2 other changes in there that I didn't mention in my notes. So the actual cost of the program to us is going down significantly based on the number of Medicaid trips. You can pick either a fixed cost or a contingency option, percentage based. So the fixed cost is $30,000. That's what we're opting for. I think last year we paid close to 100 on that service. So a big savings there. And then there's also a provision in here for them to assist us with a survey that needs to be completed. So that's a $35,000 cost where they'll handle all that related to a state requirement. So those are the 3 changes. So again, switching from R1 and having PCG take the lead, and then the fee that we pay being a flat fee, $30,000, and then assistance with that survey.
All right. Any questions? Is there a motion?
second.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes,
Six aye.
Motion carries. Item number 3, approval of recommendation from the Administration Department to waive the formal bidding process and purchase performance climate change air handler and 60-ton condensing unit from Train Inc. at the cost of $170,760. Phase 1 Village Hall HVAC Replacement Project, OMNIA Partners, contract number 3341. Pat?
Sure. So the finance director reminded me today, since we're going through this co-op, we're actually not waiving the formal bidding process since the pricing's already been vetted. But got a memo from our management analyst, Jody Luke, on this. So she's taking the lead on this project along with Chris Velcro and myself. I remember back in October, we brought Persano engineers on board to help us design and size basically a new HVAC system for the Village Hall while the duct worked. still usable. The main components like the condensing unit, which is outside the engineering entrance, the air handler, which is up in the attic, those have reached end of life, so giving us problems. We've got some coolant leaks, you can't get parts for them. The control boxes and the ceilings have been an issue where we've had to source parts off of eBay. The controls are pneumatic, so just the whole thing needs a refresh. So Persano's been working since October to review our system, get everything spec'd out. We have a train system currently. Police department runs train, have had good luck with those units. So they work through this Omnia Partners. It's a cooperative purchasing group that we belong to. 4,100 members, and they cross over 35 major agencies. Actually, Racine County has the HVAC contract for Omnia, so this is through Racine County's project. Persano spec'd out the air handler, the condensing unit, and then reached out to Train to get a cost through that cooperative. So the air handler, just for reference, is a big piece of equipment. It's like 30 feet long, 10 feet wide, 6 feet tall up in the attic. So and then the condensing unit outside isn't as big, but the lead time on this equipment, the air handler is 9 months, the condensing unit's 4 months. We're targeting May of next year to replace the equipment because everything needs to be shut down, so we're not going to have any HVAC in the building, which depending on how the weather is, could be interesting with this building staff, so we'll deal with that when we get to it. But this really is step one, get these 2 big pieces of equipment purchased. Step 2 will be working to get a contractor on board to actually install the equipment. Then we'll look at the boxes in the ceiling and the control system as follow-up steps. So at this point, given the lead times and the trajectory we're on, we're recommending to purchase this equipment from Train at a little over $170,000 through this Omnia cooperative purchasing contract.
Are there any questions? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee O'Brien, second by trustee Ross. Roll call, please.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Six aye.
All right, thanks, Jeannie. It's the end of new business, so on to public comment. Anybody that would like to make a statement to the village board, if you'd like to step up to the microphone and state your name, we will listen.
My name is Laura Lynch. I live on Florida Avenue in Gurnee, right down from Spalding School. I have talked to probably every engineer, every watch commander, and everything. No one will take care of the speeding down my street. I've lived there for 30 years. I was wondering if anybody can do anything. No disrespect to you guys, but nobody's ever there unless I put my garbage can in the middle of the road with slow down signs. I've dealt with the principal, we've worked together, and nothing gets done. I was told they can't put speed bumps because of emergency vehicles and plowing. Well, Chicago does it. I don't know what the big hurry is to go down the street to plow anyways. There has to be something done. They've done the meter work where they've seen what times are the speeding times. There's a cop there for a day to shut me up, and then it's done. I've talked with many of my neighbors. We've all offered, at least 5 of us, that they could sit in our driveways and try to get these guys. They do 50 and a 25. And it's been going on forever. Maybe because I'm home more now, I notice it more, but it's ridiculous. They did the stripes down my road. Do you know that they didn't do it in front of the school? They stopped because I complained and didn't go ahead and go do it in front of the school. Something's got to get done. And I thought maybe somebody here could do something, bust a move, save a life. We have a church, we have a school, we have no sidewalks, and we have the end of the bike path where many seniors walk, and then they have to walk in the street. So I'm hoping somebody can do something. It's before somebody dies. It's really, we've been lucky this far. But it's people, 50 miles an hour and a 25. Put a speed bump. If they can't do that, there's those rivets, like when you go off the side of the road, put a couple patches of those. Something has got to be done. Photo enforce things. I've been told there's not enough police officers to do that. Well, then use it for equipment and get something done. Thank you.
Thank you. Whoever's next, yep. Come on down.
Hello, Shelley Palmer, 6304 Doral Drive, Gurnee. The Illinois Liquor Commission created a publication to help communities ensure compliance with the Illinois Liquor Control Act, compliance with rules and regulations of the Illinois Liquor Control Commission, as well as the compliance of all local liquor ordinances across all levels of government. The Illinois Liquor Control's mission statement is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the people of Illinois through careful control and regulation of the manufacture, distribution, and sale of alcoholic liquor, and through the development of strategies to reduce youth access to alcohol products. The local liquor commissioner's handbook recommends no license be issued within 100 feet of a church, school, home, hospital, home for the aged, indigent person, veterans, or any military or naval station. The 100 feet is to be measured property line to property line in all cases, except that of a church. Gurnee, as a home rule community, decided to ignore these guidelines, in that based on the new Class 16 liquor license, the Bickford Senior Living will be 66 feet from the proposed Casey's, should a liquor license be granted. Also, according to Gurnee's Municipal Code 6-17, no liquor license required by this chapter shall be issued if the location is determined to be detrimental to the general character of the surrounding neighborhood and the projected impact of the premises upon the surrounding neighborhood or village or as a whole would be considered detrimental. A gas station convenience store with or without a liquor license is detrimental to the general character of a residential neighborhood. Can you honestly say you'd be happy about or proud of the fact you could be living with the Casey's in your backyard? Close your eyes and look at it from an outsider's point of view. This is the image Gurnee will be projecting for all to see and for years to come. The addition of licenses to sell beer and wine at a gas station further adds to the overall negative impact of alcohol sales in the community. This negative impact is based on crime statistics for gas stations provided by the Gurnee Police Department, as well as research done by the University of Wisconsin on increased alcohol density's impact on both health and safety of a community. However, there is a simple solution to many of the problems this situation may present. I'm proposing the following amendment to the newly enacted liquor ordinance. No license shall be issued within 100 feet of any church, school, except colleges and universities, hospital, home for the aged, indigent person, or veterans or any military or naval station, or residential neighborhood in the village of Gurnee. Mayorhood and village trustees, please re-examine the guidelines provided to the Illinois Liquor Commissioners. The intent of Section 6-17 of your own municipal code and the concerns expressed by more than 600 residents and amend the Class 16 license ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ashok. I live in Dada Drive and Almond intersection at corner house. This is again another speeding request.
Yeah, if you could just talk a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
so I live
You
in
just stand closer, I think
Okay.
that's better.
so I live in Dada Drive and Almond intersection, that roundabout.
Okay.
So again, the another speeding issue. So people are not following the rules, the speeding. Even sometimes the driver not able to control the speed, and they sometimes they ran over that middle of the roundabout. So do something about controlling the speeds, and lot of honk. People are doing more honk. So that's my request. Do something to control that environment, that place.
People are doing more what?
Honk.
Honking.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a lot of honk.
oh, thanks.
Because see, the people are coming, then they realize they should yield. They're not doing that. Okay, the front car is going, okay, they're following and then keep doing. So the more speed, we are hearing a lot of things. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Joseph Bilas. I live at 33777 North Summerfield Drive. I want to first thank the village board for all that you do. The most local levels of government are oftentimes the most important and impactful, and we saw that earlier today with the new business you guys discussed. So thank you for your time, patience, and effort in serving the village that we all call home. I rise today to support an amendment to village ordinances, initially introduced by Mr. Keith Owens and further supported by residents here tonight. The amendment, referring to Section 617, asks you to insert following the language that was previously read here tonight. The residents of North Summerfields Drive are in full support of this amendment. We also understand that there is a decision-making process which must take place amongst the board. And so we ask the board to think about this question. For what reasons would we not pass this amendment? Would anyone want a store selling liquor 100 feet from their backyard? 100 feet from where their kids or grandkids may be playing? 100 feet from where their parents or grandparents may be living in retirement? We ask this board to think, because we believe the answer to this question must guide the answer to the larger question, which is passing the proposed amendment. Mr. Mayor, I understand that you're a man who cares deeply about your faith. And while I, as a young person, am still questioning my beliefs and searching for my faith, my understanding of God leads me to believe that God would put the well-being of the resident above the well-being of the business. I ask you, Mr. Mayor, as well as the rest of this board, to think about that. This board knows where the people stand on this amendment. And soon it will be time for the people to know where this board stands on the amendment. Our ask tonight is that you stand with us. Thank you.
Thanks. I'd always be careful on depending on knowing what God thought between the two of us. So maybe he thinks that, maybe he doesn't. And you're right. I have a faith and believe in God. Knowing what he thinks about this, not so sure. Anybody else like to speak? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by trustee Baumas, second by trustee O'Brien. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.